Stop what you're doing! Because if you're only looking at the gaming calendar for the next 12 months, you are missing the forest for the trees. I'm talking about the year 2026. We've got massive returns from legendary franchises, wildly ambitious new IPs, and surprise genre pivots that are gonna define the next generation of gaming. This is the ultimate immersive deep dive into the 14 most anticipated games currently slated for 2026. Get ready to update your wish lists. Let's count them down. At number 14, we have a game that makes the mundane terrifying. This is Infinitesimals. Think about it. You crash land on an alien planet, but the real alien part is how small you are. This PC title from Qubit Studios is basically a super realistic, high-fidelity version of Pikmin, but with a strong shooter core. You're not just gathering resources, you're engaging in tactical firefights with insects and fighting through fields of grass that feel like ancient forests. You have to find your scattered squad and figure out what happened to the human colony you were meant to join. The scale difference here is key. It takes common survival elements and flips them on their head, forcing you to treat everyday bugs like kaiju. Next up at number 13, let's go deep into the strange with Sea of Remnants. An adventure RPG set on the high seas, this game immediately caught my attention because they introduced it with its own folk song, which is just awesome. If you love pirates, high seas strategy, and the thrill of adventure, this NetEase title is aiming squarely at you. But there's one detail that needs urgent clarification. The slot machine wielding crab? Is this our first mate? Is he a boss? Is he how we upgrade our loot? I have so many questions, but I love the absolute commitment to bizarre nautical lore. Sea of Remnants promises solid ship-based combat, but frankly, I'm just pre-registering to meet this crustacean gambler. Slipping into the 12th spot, we have Starseeker, Astroneer Expeditions. Now, let's address the elephant in the star system. No, this is not Astroneer 2. Developer System Era Softworks has been clear. This is a new chapter in the Astroneer universe, but it's pivoting the gameplay. The focus here is less pure sandbox and more structured co-op expeditions. You'll be working with a team to complete objectives across vibrant, procedurally generated worlds, facing unique hazards and creatures. And the Devolver Digital Publishing partnership? That tells me they're confident in the game's unique identity. If you love the aesthetic and exploration of the original but wanted something with clearer goals and more cooperative focus, Starseeker is your ticket. At number 11, get ready for an indie that looks like a shot of pure dopamine. It's Denshattack. Undercoders asked a brilliant question. We've all played Subway Surfers, but what if we controlled the train? This is a vibrant, gravity-defying 3D platformer where you race an impossibly fast cartoony train through wild courses. It's all about high scores, battling rivals, making new allies, and dodging scenery. It looks like the kind of pick-up-and-play fun that's perfect for the couch. Plus, 2 major wins here. It's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox, and it's a Day 1 Game Pass release. No risk, all reward. All right, we are rolling through 2026, and the hits just keep coming. If you're enjoying this look into the future, please smash that like button and let me know which of these titles you're adding to your watch list. Now, let's dive into our next section featuring legendary developers and mysterious returns. Entering our top 10 at number 10 is the beautiful atmospheric sequel, Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. The original Planet of Lana was a quiet triumph in 2023, a cinematic puzzle adventure with a stunning Ghibli-esque art style and one of the most heartwarming companion dynamics in recent memory. The planet wasn't fully saved from those strange invading robots, so we're reuniting with Lana and her cat-like friend Mui to uncover even deeper mysteries. Wishfully is promising a longer, more challenging experience this time around. If you enjoy games like Inside or Limbo but crave a warmer, more vibrant aesthetic, this sequel should be high on your list. At number 9, we have a sci-fi nightmare that looks absolutely lethal. This is End of Abyss. Section 9 is bringing a spooky, isometric shooter that perfectly blends aesthetics. It's got the creepy, unsettling, almost Little Nightmare-style animations for the characters, but the monsters themselves look like they crawled right out of The Last of Us, or a classic body horror sci-fi film. We're deep in space, there's a lot of gore, and it screams classic survival horror tension. If you want a top-down perspective that still manages to feel claustrophobic and terrifying, keep an eye on End of Abyss. Landing at number 8 is a game that is destined to be a co-op classic. Drinkbox Studios strikes again with Blighted. After the brilliance of Guacamelee and the creativity of Nobody Saves the World, Drinkbox is back with a psychedelic Western nightmare that's a 4-player co-op Metroidvania. Let that sink in. The art style is chunky, colorful, and highly reminiscent of the isometric view we loved in Hades, but here you're tackling the madness with 3 friends. Drinkbox's action combat is always crunchy and satisfying, and putting that high-octane fun into a multiplayer setting ensures Blighted is going to be an absolute blast. Number 7 is one of the biggest surprises of the last year. From the minds that brought us Pokemon, we have Beast of Reincarnation. Yes, Game Freak is dropping the Pokeballs and picking up the swords. This is a massive visual departure, giving us a grand action-adventure RPG set in the year 4026. You play as Emma the Sealer, chasing the titular beast that is causing nature to turn destructive. The world is visually breathtaking, a stunning blend of high fantasy and natural decay. The reveal at Summer Game Fest showed off intense sword combat and a loyal wolf companion, which, let's be honest, is an immediate win. It's incredibly exciting to see this powerhouse studio tackling an original dark fantasy epic. Cracking the top 6 is a game that remains a beautiful, frustrating mystery, Pragmata. Capcom is keeping this one locked down tighter than a vault, but the intrigue is immense. It's described as a thought-provoking action-adventure shooter. The visuals hint at a deeply futuristic, possibly post-apocalyptic Earth, where our protagonist in a bulky suit meets Diana and her ethereal holocat. Is it narrative-focused? Is it a puzzle game? Is it a stealth horror? We don't know. But after seeing Capcom's incredible output recently, Resident Evil, Dragon's Dogma 2, we trust they know what they're doing with this enigmatic title. When Pragmata finally arrives in 2026, it promises to be an experience unlike anything else. Next up at number 5, we are going back to feudal Japan for a long-awaited revival. Get ready for Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Fans have been clamoring for a new Onimusha for ages, and Capcom finally delivered at the 2024 Game Awards. This is a new entry in the classic action-adventure franchise. Set in Edo-era Kyoto, you step into the role of a samurai wielding the Oni Gauntlet, a relic that allows you to absorb souls and fight hordes of otherworldly demons known as Genma. The trailer promised dark fantasy, intense samurai action, and that perfect blend of historical setting with supernatural threats. This is a major comeback and arguably the most important genre revitalization Capcom has slated for 2026. At number 4, it's time to prepare for a whole lot of yikes. From Supermassive Games, we have Directive 8020. The creators of Until Dawn and The Quarry are leaving the summer camps and haunted mansions for the cold, dark expanse of space. And the inspiration? Pure cinematic horror gold. Alien meets The Thing. A crew wakes up from stasis only to find their ship has been boarded by an alien capable of mimicking its human prey. Like all Supermassive titles, survival hinges on your snap decisions. But here, the added paranoia of the mimic alien will make every single interaction a desperate gamble. After a brief delay into 2026, this sci-fi horror thriller is set to redefine interactive film horror. We're down to the big 3. At number 3, we have style, zombies, and ultra-violence. It's a new creation from the eccentric genius, Suda51, Romeo is a Dead Man. You knew Grasshopper Manufacture was going to bring the heat, and this looks like a beautiful, chaotic explosion of their best ideas. This is Suda51 at his peak, a stylishly animated, hand-drawn action-adventure game starring the ridiculously named FBI investigator, Romeo Stargazer. The trailer was a feast of gore, tongue-in-cheek humor, and frantic, over-the-top violence as Romeo carves through zomboid hordes. If you value unique artistic vision and gameplay that simply doesn't care about the rules, this PC title is a must-watch. Our penultimate pick at number 2 is arguably the biggest crowd pleaser on this entire list. Get ready to go back to Gotham with LEGO Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight. TT Games learned a lot from the massive success of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and now they are adapting the definitive modern superhero trilogy, Christopher Nolan's Batman films. You get to relive all 3 movies, from Bruce Wayne's initiation to his final showdown with Bane, all wrapped in that classic, hilarious LEGO aesthetic. But this isn't just a nostalgic rerun. This game is set to feature a fully open-world Gotham map and a huge development for the series, optional difficulty modes. This looks like the ultimate celebration for movie fans and LEGO enthusiasts alike.
And finally, our most anticipated game of 2026. This game earns the top spot not just because it looks stunning, but because it represents the most ambitious and surprising creative pivot from a major indie studio we've seen in years. At number 1, we have Cairn. From the Game Bakers, the developers who perfected lightning-fast, neon-drenched action with the game Fury, comes a brutally realistic simulation about mountain climbing. Yes, really, Cairn is an anti-action game. It's methodical, demanding, and requires surgical precision. You play as Ava, a climber determined to conquer an impossible summit, managing every tiny movement, every resource, and literally trying not to fall to your death. The developers described it as their most challenging production in terms of development complexity, and the result looks like a deeply immersive, high-stakes experience unlike anything else coming out. The commitment to realistic physical simulation and high-altitude tension makes Cairn our definitive number 1 most anticipated game of 2026. Whew! What a list! 2026 is shaping up to be an absolute renaissance for both new IPs and long-awaited returns. Now it's your turn. Which of these 14 games has you pulling out your calendar? Are you Team Onimusha or Team Pragmata? Let me know which one you think will be the game of the year in the comments below. Host, if you enjoyed this immersive look into the future, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.